Hey, this is AJ. Thanks for subscribing to my YouTube channel. This is the weekly update. Just a thank you for listening to the videos and reading my blog posts and joining our Mind, Body, Spirit on Reddit or the Facebook page that can be found through my website as well. Thanks for all the thumbs up on YouTube and comments and shares. It really helps motivate me to put more content out there. I came across an article about how I keep seeing these articles it's been a few years. These same kind of articles came out, but this one was, I forget which source, but it was a better source. And it said that solar power and coal are finally just about even, and all it's going to take is the infrastructure, maybe a push of government subsidies to get that laid out, and a system for consumers to easily install the solar panels onto their houses. But it made me think about minimalism, which is a philosophy I try to live my life by for environmental reasons, but also just for mental health reasons. And it made me realize that, that is one of the last straws there. You can have a garden, you can not spend any money and spend your time reading and talking with your friends and hiking and whatever you choose to do, making things, exercising, but there's always going to be the energy consumption that you use in your house that's kind of hanging over your head, and it's coal for most of us, unless you're lucky. That's fueling your house. It's fueling your lights, fueling the stereo or the TV, the computer, charging your phones, and there's nothing you can do about it in a lot of places. I know in Oregon, I've heard that maybe in California too, you can choose to pay for the clean energy, but it's more expensive. And so, unless you're making a comfortable living, which I wasn't when I lived around in that area of the U.S., you're not going to choose that one. If you're in debt, if you're credit card debt, student loans, if you've got a expensive mortgage, and you're living month to month, week to week, paycheck to paycheck, you're probably not going to choose that. But now that solar is catching up and should surpass coal, the big decision makers, the energy companies, are now going to choose solar because it's just more economically viable. So that's exciting. It's exciting news. I wrote in one place, I think it was on the Reddit Mind, Body, Spirit page, that it's like you develop this minimalist lifestyle, meditating, not spending money, making things last, fixing things instead of buying new ones, taking care of the consumer goods that you have, and buying good quality ones so that they'll last a lifetime. And then it's like you wash your hands of the guilt. You're not, and it's not just guilt. It's responsibility to not only the human race but to the earth, right? So I wouldn't say do it to get rid of guilt. That's not what I mean. But anyway, you wash your hands of knowing that you're contributing to the problem. You're not contributing to it anymore. And it's like you have these clean hands, except you have this one throbbing thumb that got smashed by coal energy, and that there's a power plant somewhere away from your site. It's not next to your house, but it's out there, and some poor person probably, or some rural community, is sucking in the fumes, and it's powering your house. And we're getting past that. I think the next 10 years might actually, even though those futurists keep saying that, they've said that and said that, I think they're right. I think the next 10 years are going to be great. So that's really exciting. The best clip I was able to put on the YouTube channel this month, or this week, I mean, was the Rick Doblin with Duncan Trussell. He was amazing, talking about how these utopic visions of a world where we have psychedelics, not like Timothy Leary said, not how they're he doesn't believe they're intrinsically on the fringe, intrinsically outlaw, intrinsically for just a certain amount of people. He thinks that they're to be used probably infrequently, but by everyone in a good setting that praises their use in a therapeutic setting. Why not adapt it to our modern framework? And he's got a really good vision there, and he hopes, he's 61, but he hopes that his vision will be handed down to the next generation and the next, because there are 2 generations below him now that need to carry the torch. And he's starting with MDMA because I think they just choose one at a time, and that's been proven to, in his eyes, to help people with PTSD. But I don't think mushrooms or other plant entheogens, maybe ayahuasca, mushrooms, peyote, things like that, maybe they won't be too far off. So it'll be a better world with more empathy, more connection, more. And the thing I liked, he said we need to, I think, remedy the subconscious, or exalt the subconscious. He said our current society, which is a dominant global society, is the first society like that has not had psychedelics somewhere in it. We prohibit them, and that's ignoring the subconscious mind, which is half of the mind or more, possibly more of the mind. More of our actions are carried out because of some subconscious thoughts rather than conscious thoughts. So if that's true, then we're hurting ourselves. We're not just hurting the poor people who get thrown in jail, but we're hurting everyone because we're denying them the chance to use those awesome substances in a productive way, not as a party drug. But why not? Freedom is freedom. If people want to, maybe they should be able to use them for fun, but that's not where Rick Doblin is coming from. He's taking a very realistic approach, but it's an approach that should be able to help us all. So check that clip out on the YouTube channel if you missed it. Again, thanks so much. Check out my ebooks through my blog, ajsnook.tk, or ajsnookauthor.blogspot.com, and say hi on Facebook, Twitter, the subreddit, Our Mind, Body, Spirit, which is, if you don't know, is a community. It's secular, that's minimalist, promoting the balance of healthy mind, healthy body, healthy spirit. Again, there's no religion tied to it. Think Jon Kabat-Zinn, think meditation, mindfulness, transcendental meditation, with no dogma attached to it. Personal practice. And that's what this community is about. It's about personal practice. And it might get a little serious. I want to incorporate a little more humor